How studied are you on body language? Like, are you like into body language? I mean, we all notice it subconsciously, but are you consciously aware of body language?
Um, I would say yes. I don't know that I'm the greatest at like verbalizing the body language that I see, but I can sense like when something's off, especially like energetically. I think that kind of counts with the
Right,
body language thing.
right. That definitely counts when you in the room with someone. But like, as far as like watching a video of someone, digital, a digital image of them, you can't always pick up on the energy like you can when you're in the room. But you can see the body language.
Hmm.
And I think everyone would agree that Black women have the most expressive faces.
Hmm.
Like, you have a shirt that says, what does your shirt say?
I can't help what my face does when you talk,
Right,
or something like that. I can't control what my face does when you talk to me, or something like that.
right. So Black women have those, well, women in general, but Black women do have the most emoji faces. Like, if we say something that throws you off, y'all gonna hit us with the eyebrows, y'all gonna make a face. Like, it's always face first. You know what I mean? Like, even at your job as a server, like, you could be describing someone like a cheesecake or something, or I mean, you could be describing someone a meal, the meatloaf or the meat, or you could be describing someone a meal, the pasta or the flatbread or whatever. And if you describe something they don't like mushrooms or onions, they'll make a face like to let you know, hey, I don't like that flavor, or I don't like that kind of drink. Like,
I had that today when I was describing the soup to this white guy. And I told him what the soups were, and he was like,
right. So with women and Black women, I think that it's a little bit higher volume of facial reactions. Now, I think that y'all get criticized for it more than any other group, rightly or wrongly.
criticized and then copied.
Right, which is a double whammy.
Like, it's not okay for us to do it. But when these random ass white culture appropriating vultures come in and start acting like us and making our faces, then it's cool
Right.
and funny
Yeah. Do I make fun of your faces?
all the time.
I'm probably gonna earn a couple of faces tonight because I'll be earning some. But so last week was the Oscars, and shout out to the winners. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and another woman won for that same movie, Sinners, for the I believe the costumes, and I think a brother won for the musical score. But a lot of people were talking about our sister Teyana Taylor, and they were talking about mainly her body language. And what happened was everyone's seen the clip, but she just had a very hype, excited celebration. Like, she had a bouncing energy. She was very, very expressive. And not only when her guy won, well, she didn't win, but her guy won, who produced the movie, because her film won Best Picture. And so when the guy won, she stood up, and as she walked with him to the stage, she put him in a headlock. And when she lost in the category, she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and she lost to that lady Madigan. Yeah, why you Madigan? But she lost to the Madigan lady from Weapons, the creepy old white lady. She jumped up and celebrated and was very expressive in her celebration. And people criticized her. Some people, use terms like ghetto and extra. When we watched it together, my first reaction was, yo, why is she doing all that? It did seem a little, the volume was turned up a little too high. I won't describe her as ghetto And I think extra has become a euphemism for ghetto. I won't say anything like that. If you want to see something ghetto, rewind a couple of years to Will Smith at the Oscars. That was ghetto. But it did seem like a little bit of maybe overcompensation. Like I'm trying to go over the top to show that I'm being a good sportsman, even though I lost. I'm showing good sportsmanship, even though I lost, by celebrating very excitedly. And you know, it's not a hardcore criticism because this is not something major. Like there's undertones underneath it that might be major, but this is not like somebody getting a DUI and hurting someone or abusing their children or, this is not, a felony. This is a misdemeanor if this is a crime at all. But it was a little off-putting the way she put that old white man in a headlock from a black man's perspective, and her husband or her significant other wasn't there, if they're even still together. I didn't see any clip of him all night. I don't know if I just missed it.
There, I don't think.
But I know as a husband, I wouldn't want my black wife putting a white man in a headlock and a celebration like that, roughhousing shit, like that locker room, pat you on the butt, good game, wrestling energy. Like I don't want my wife putting her hands on no other nigga anyway. And vice versa, I don't want no nigga putting his hands on my wife, even if it's playing and shit like that. Like, nah, we ain't roughhousing, we ain't headlocking. Like that shit, from a husband's perspective, I would not care for that. But just as a general decorum perspective, it wasn't the best look, but still, I like and respect that sister. I think there's a lot of good there, even though we're going to talk about the critical parts of her roles and stuff like we have. But it didn't land very well, in my opinion. And I wanted to hear what a black woman says about it, because you're in the club, you are a black woman, you get judged and hyper scrutinized the way y'all all do. And I wanted to hear what another black woman thought about Teyana Taylor's reactions at the Oscars.
Well, for one, I want to start by saying that she's human. And we are allowed to show excitement and to show emotion and just to be happy. Like to go off of what she said on Twitter, to like her response to people calling her fake for clapping for Amy. Yes, it could have been an overcompensation for what she was truly feeling, which is probably, sad, maybe a little angry for not winning. Like maybe, I don't know, I don't have another word for what she could have been feeling, but, just not good about it. Maybe it was a little bit of an overcompensation for that. But at the same time, in another parallel line, had she sat there looking angry, looking upset, looking pissed off, not clapping, not doing anything else, it would have been, oh, the black woman is angry because she didn't win. So it's just like, whatever. Like, stop policing her behavior. Like, let her have her moment. And I was reading comments on TikTok, and everybody's talking about black fatigue, and she's just like, look at me, like basically just like wanting attention. And come on now, like this girl is already on TV. She's been on television since fucking a teenager. She gets a lot of attention, and I'm sure that this sitting in an award room is not anything she's not ever experienced before. So I don't think that's like something that she just like, oh, look at me. I don't think it was that. Like, she's just really excited. Like, she was this is her first really big major movie to win a thing. Like, to like, let her have that. Now, the headlock was a bit much. Like, that's just plain and simple. That was a bit much, just too much. Just calm down.
If I won an award and my female co-star, one of my co-workers, was walking up to accept the award with me. And as we walk up, they put me in the headlock. How would that land on you?
Like, chill out. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, it's a chill out, but it's just like, it's not something that I'm going to get pissed over. Like, if I need to, I'm going to talk to her later. But I don't really think it's that big of an issue because it's like, you can see the excitement that she had. My only thing was like, you went up there and grabbed the Oscar. There was only two Oscars. No, there was three that they presented to them. They gave them 3 Oscars, and then, or was it 2?
I don't remember. I think it was 2.
Okay, it might have been 2. So like that said to me, like, it was not for the whole cast, but like for the producer, the director, whatever it was. What it was the category, like, it wasn't.
Well, they won for Best Picture.
So that means it goes to like the director. Like, yeah. So it's like, you're not the director, you're not the producer, so you shouldn't even be holding the Oscar. That was my one critique of her of the night. Everything else is like, you're human, do you? You're at the fucking Oscars. You're in a major film. Like, have fun. Like, she's a human being. And like, Black women do get criticized so much for just having personality, but then the next person wants to come copy it the next day, and then it's okay for them. So it's just like, no, let her live.
Right, and we're going to circle back to that, criticized for having personality, but I do push back a little bit on she shouldn't have grabbed the Oscar, because to tell you the truth, sometimes producers, and I'm not an expert, so, you know, I could be wrong, but in my experience from what I've heard, sometimes the producers are just the money men or the money women that financed the project or greenlit the project or signed their name on the project, but they didn't get in there and put in the work. They signed a piece of paper to move money from one account to another so that the real artist could get in there and put in the work. Like, the real artist was out there in the rain, shooting to midnight, shooting night scenes, shooting in the jungle, shooting in, you know, car chases and machine gun fights. The real artist was out there really digging in the dirt. The director too, the camera crew too, the stuntmen, like all of those people, they really putting in the work. The producer, you know what I mean? You just the white man with that signed the check sometime. But so I was like, yo, let them shine, because her and the other young lady, I forget her name, forgive me, but she was a presenter that night. She played her daughter. And she was so classy and so beautiful. Like, when they both were beautiful, like they both looked amazing, and they popped off the screen in a sea of whiteness. You know what I'm saying? But we always do that. And I was glad she was holding the trophy. Like, yeah, like, it don't mean she get to take it home with her, but while she on stage and that snapshot, have that shit in your hands, sis. Have that shit in your hand. You the most memorable. I don't disagree with you. The most memorable part of that movie, for good or bad. Right. Her and her daughter.
Right.
The most and the Mexican guy. He killed his role. The Mexican guy that helped my man get out of everything. He killed his role. The other role, you know, the Sean Penn, Leonardo, like, they're memorable for some of the wrong reasons. Especially Sean Penn. Like, he played a horrible character.
His character was awful.
Just creepy. Like, but they shined. And when it comes to the critique of, like, people of color's personality, I'm going to bring it into sports. So in football, there was a lot of white announcers and white coaches and white reporters that used to criticize these black athletes when they would do a fancy touchdown celebration after scoring a touchdown. And, you know, we black people, we celebrate. They dancing, you know, these folks. And for a while, they outlawed it.
I was about to say, wasn't that like banned or something?
It was. Like, they fined people for doing excessive celebrations, and they still have rules on it. They let you do certain celebrations now, but there was a while where you would get a fine and a penalty for celebrating too much after scoring a touchdown. When this one of the toughest things to do in sports, you got these big, giant, muscle behemoth men trying to tackle you and throw you to the ground by force, and you overcome that to get into the end zone. Let the man celebrate. And in baseball, where you have some of the Latin players from the Dominican Republic and Cuba and Venezuela and South America and all that, these Latin players have a whole lot of flair. Like they be doing hip thrusts and when they hit a home run, they flip the bat and then they trot around the bases real slow and admire their home run as it flies out the stadium. And white pitchers and white baseball players and white culture and white white announcers used to, in response to like a Latin player hitting a home run and like showboating around the bases and running around the bases slow, you know what they would do? They would, next time they came up to bat, they would hit them with a pitch. They would throw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball at them and hit them in the ribs just because they celebrated too Latin and too, sexual when they hit a home run off of them. And you talk about sore loser, and this was accepted. This was part of baseball's culture. Like, they accepted it. Like, it was the rule. Like, next time he come up, hit him with a pitch. And that reminds me of somewhat of this situation. It's always this monolithic vanilla-ness of the dominant culture criticizing the swag, the personality, and the excitement of the less dominant cultures, but they also enjoy it. They also want to copy it.
Right. It's annoying.
Now, one thing about the criticism of Black women that I have to say here, one of the worst images of Black women today, I'm not going to deal with the rappers, but we'll leave the rappers to the side for a second. One of the worst images is the reality show Black women. That's one of, like, when you look at people criticizing Black women for being all of those things that people don't like, that's turned up to 10 in the reality shows. Because they're always catty, they're always gossipy, they're always fighting. And, it's sort of, written into the script, because if you don't have them cat fighting, it's going to be a boring reality show unless you got a clever game like, Big Brother or Survivor, shit like that. Those reality shows have a clever structure to it where it's not relying on the cattiness. But, the Housewives and the Love and Hip Hop shit, those shows, their main attraction is the ratchetness, the cattiness, and the fighting of Black women. I think it is the worst expression of Black women that we broadcast to the world anywhere. Real strippers and strip clubs don't always act like that. The rappers sometimes don't even act like that, even if they write some of that ratchet shit in their music. Sometimes they are more classy. But I've said this to you. I said, what, you can't tell me that 5 Black women can't spend like 9, 10 weekends together hanging out and doing things without them getting, 2 or 3 of them getting into actual fist fights and hair pulling fights and like that just seems over the top to me. Like, I understand sometimes there'll be disagreements, but like, I know a lot of Black women. You pick any 5 Black women and say, yo, y'all hang out for the next 12 weekends. I don't think it's always gonna be fights. I think that's TV shit. And I think that's one of the worst images of Black women, and people see that and then they connect it to everything else that y'all do, like the Teyana Taylor situation.
I mean, it just depends on who you're around, because fights happen all the time. We just don't surround ourselves with people who do such things, so we're not going to see it. But
I would say that they happen less in regular life than you see on reality shows. Like the ratio, like you take,
sure
but no,
that.
but like I've been around so many Black women all my life. All my life, I've been surrounded by Black women. You can't tell me that you take 5 black women and have them spend 12 weekends together, there's always going to be a fight. I think if you did that with no cameras on, the ratio of fights would be way lower.
Real life versus like reality though is a different thing because it's like there's a time span for these reality shows. Real life, you know, there's time period in between people's interactions and altercations, but on these shows, there's like set dates and times that they're doing certain activities with one another. Like so and so's having this event, there's this event, like it's all on a schedule, it's all on a timeline. So it's like they're seeing each other more often because they're on this show and they have to film together versus people who really don't have to hang out if they don't want to. Like,
right.
They're contracted into seeing one another.
But what about schoolmates or workmates? You see them 5 days a week for months and months and months out of the year. And I don't think that the ratio of fights between regular black women is as high as it is on these shows. When the last time you seen
black high school and there were fights all the time?
Okay, well, see, it's different for children because they're still children. So school might not be a fair comparison.
Age don't change your maturity
level.
it
does. It does. Like children.
For some, it does, but for a lot of people, it does not.
Okay.
So when you're used to being a fighter, when you fight, you will fight again.
When the last time you saw 2 black women fighting in real life?
The other day when I came to pick you up from work, when bitches was in the street. When bitches was in the street.
Okay. But before that, when was the last time before that?
I don't know.
Years, decades.
Because I don't surround myself with that type of behavior.
True.
You ain't gonna find me in no environment where bitches feel like they gotta fight one another. That's not me.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm the wrong one to ask that question. When was the last time I saw somebody fight? I don't be in them environments.
Right. You're right. And then at the end of the show, Teyana Taylor had an altercation with security where she said that a security guard pushed her or shoved her or blocked her path from her attempting to get on stage, and she called them out for it.
So first she was too excited, then she too aggressive with the home dude, lock him in the headlock. Now she's way too aggressive for standing up for herself, for being pushed by a fucking security guard. Like, just leave the girl alone. Just leave her alone. I'm really like, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for the Teyana Taylor slander right now. Let her have her moment. She was excited, just like you said. I didn't agree that she should have taken the Oscar because it wasn't hers. But I do see the value in her having that moment. So yes, go for it. Just let her have her night. Leave her alone. Y'all want to point out the one person in the room that's just a little bit more excited. That's just like trying to point out the kid on the bus with the ADHD because he can't sit down or whatever. Like, no, the kid clearly has a problem. Let him live. Make sure he's living safely, though. Like, you know?
So
maybe sitting down on the bus is not the best example, but you know what I mean? Like, the child is a little special. I'm not calling her special. See, this is not a good analogy. Right. Either way, let her live. Let her have her moment.
Okay, so you ever been to, like, a graduation? Like, we went to... a young one had a play, had a little performance at school last week. All right, and we've gone to like graduations and school things or even like football games, and sometimes you'll hear one of the black moms yelling so loudly at the graduation when their child's name get called or at a play or even at a football game. We do hear that. I don't think that is normally scrutinized and criticized that badly, but there are some times where black women are that excited and expressive in like public award shows and shit like that. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. It's like, especially at schools, it's just like you want your child to know you're there, that you're supporting. Hell yeah, walk across that stage. Same for these award shows. Like, yes, you did that. And everyone saw it. Kudos.
Yes. So, here we go. I got to throw you a curveball. All right? So You know what I mean? I need you to step up and hit a home run.
Lay it on me.
I want you to give your acceptance speech after winning an award for Best Supporting Actress in a Movie. I want to hear what you're going to say, who you're going to thank, and all of the little shout-outs you got to give in a 30-second clip. All right? I'm going to give you a second to think about it while I read off. And the nominees for Best Supporting Actress in a Film or TV Show goes to Ariana Husbands. Dun, dun, dun. This is Ariana's 4th nomination and first victory. She's starred in such and such and such and such. She's a mom and a stepmom and a wife and a daughter, and she's a wonderful person. Ariana Husbands, 2026 Oscar Award winner recipient.
Wow. I was not expecting this. So thank you. I want to thank the entire team, my husband for supporting me at home, my child for always understanding that mom is working and she's doing it for the family, and to all the people who ever listened to the negative thoughts and the negative opinions and thought that they wouldn't be any better than what was told to them. You can decide what you want to be and how you want to show up in this world and go get what you said you were going to get. And this is proof of that. So thank you again. And I'm just grateful to be here.